1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2. So, what we are going to experience today together in 3.5 minutes, more or less. So we will start this show off with the weather forecast. Yay! And then the round cam, maybe? Stream settings, concurrent viewers. I will be live here, you guys, in 1 minute and 52 seconds. So stay by. Anybody else? Playbacks for concurrent viewers. We are ready to go in 1 minute, 32 seconds and counting. Captain! Captain! We have 1 minute, 32 seconds, Captain! Screw you, Scotty. Screw you. Tired of your stupid Scottish accent. Every time we get in trouble, you go into being Captain this and Captain that. You see the interview at CBC this morning with Captain Kirk? You know, I actually I mic'd him one day for a show, right? I did a show in Banff Springs. It was the Global Television Festival, I believe it was. And he was one of the guests. Opening videos. Turn this one down. Let's turn this one on. And we get ready to start here in 3, 2, 1. What am I going to go with? Okay, weather, Avalanche Canada. Show some of these slides. Really not a lot to talk about. More of a transitional period going on right now, I would think. Sun of clouds, high precip. Things aren't, well, you know, they might get a little better, eh? And did we have, yeah, we got that Facebook thing. We'll soon, TM. So let's go with. And good morning, April 5th, 2021. And it is a beautiful day out there today. So beautiful that the sun is going to be affecting that snowpack. That's right. It's going to deteriorate it rapidly, especially on the lower elevations and on solar aspects. So south, southwest, especially if you can get yourself up. If you're looking for some good skiing, you're going to have to go high, stay high. And I don't mean smoking weed at the parking lot. I mean, you're going to have to get some elevation, so save that weed. Um, I don't know. What can I say? Why don't we just do what we usually do about this time of day and go have a look at the weather? Which would put me right here onto our second display transition. So there you go, puppies. The weather for the week. Today being Monday, April 5th, sunny, 8 degrees in the Banff town site. So further north, you can expect to be a couple of degrees colder. Probably a high of around 5 in the Banff Summit region. Continuing, you know what, we're right in that transitional phase, right? So we're in the first week of April, and things are getting to in the town side. I mean, there's, you know, it's snowing every other day, but it dries up almost as fast as it snows. So get out your running shoes, start doing some sit-ups, you know, that sort of thing. If you want to look good in your Speedo, go take your shirt off, take your clothes off, stand in front of the mirror, get disgusted, put your clothes back on, go for a run. Because as far as the skiing goes, you're going to have to go hunting for it. We still got a couple of weeks of good skiing, but we're going to be transitioning out of that fairly soon. And the trails are going to start drying up in a couple of weeks. And then the freaking mountain bikers are going to be all over the place. And they are going to be everywhere. And that goes for rock climbing. So in the meantime, though, let's talk about what we have for conditions. We're going to look at some new snow here, especially up in higher elevations midweek, April, Thursday, Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you guys who are weekend warriors are probably going to have a pretty good weekend. But I would plan on, unless the avalanche conditions change rapidly, which they are not going to, looking at getting up into some higher elevations. You can see here, where is that pit? Here's a pit that was done at Skoki Falls. And you can see it's quite a sandwich. Now, the Skoki Falls region is quite a ways from the Bow Summit area, which is more of our forecasting area. Although this would be applicable to anything Emerald Lake, anything on that side of the divide. Got to remember, it's a deeper snowpack, and they've had warmer conditions overall. If you look at the temperatures in through here, I believe these are, counting by them, be 1 every 20 centimeters, which is fine, but it also shows that there's not a greater than 1 degree per 10 centimeters, which promotes for a bonding effect in the snowpack. This is interesting in here, facets 1 to 1.5 on this little liver slide layer here, going at 4 finger minus 4 fingers. The other one of interest is right here at 190, right here. And that's a crust. That would have to be a melt freeze crust, or from warm temperatures from earlier 2 weeks ago, when the temperatures did get above, you know, the freezing level is down to about 1,600 meters. That would be a week or two ago, I guess. A week ago for sure. And then I think we had some warm temperatures prior to that. Now, all of this here, if you go from 190 to 130, is 40 centimeters, which is about this much snow, right? So not a huge concern, and slightly lower density in here. What is this crust up here? These are breaking down size 1s. So must be getting some moisture in there. And the temperature was minus 0.5 degrees at air temperature. Air temperature is 3 degrees, so surface temperature was minus 0.5. March 19th crust. This is what they're worried about right here. Compression test 28, which is quite hard. Compression test 18 at 200. Right here at this interface, nothing. Not enough, deep enough to be of concern. Keep an eye on this, though. If you're in that area, we'll see what this does if they're still going the following week, because don't they have another pit? In the forecast region on the other side of that, right? So that is right here, right? Mount Field, Mount Hayes. So their pit is somewhere up in here. And the region that I'm kind of looking at where they did do a pit a while ago. What's this? Somebody got caught. Crystal Ridge Slide, grouping 5, one person not injured, caught, not buried, blah, 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 shallow over the cliffs. Oh, yeah, this one. So that, that seems to be the thing, you guys. Wind loading happens to be an issue right now. This is Bocordour, the Bole Couar, or whatever they want to call that, the one that's right off the road. This is east facing, northeast facing, so ideal for skiing, like coming in through here, lots of shade. Skiing conditions would be preserved through there as best as you can. You can get a little bit of skiing too over on this side, like right in here. You can climb up higher to the right. So you see this little guy, but stuff has been spilling out of these couars recently. So here's some fresh debris out of that couar that the guy was hiking up. Take a look at it. See that? So that would have been all from blowing in and then fell in and then spilled out. This is steeper than it looks, actually. It's not I'm giving you a great perspective of that. This is a curious one. This is Grizzly. Grizzly Shoulder is over here to the right, I believe. And this is the debris comes spilled out of the gully. And there's 3 ski tours about to enter into that gully by the looks of it. Normally you kick off to the right into the trees here. You can come out higher if you want, but it's been skied enough and climbed enough that you don't need to go up this gully to go up to Grizzly Shoulder or anything like that. You could actually skin up through the trees and feel quite comfortable, as opposed to kicking up some big, huge terrain trap like that. Check the forecast. If you want to take a look, this is what Lake Louise looks like this morning, and it is freaking wonderful. Right back there, there's Skokie, right? See that there? Right in there, and over this pass and right down there. So you had to go through Boulder, over Deception, and then down. There you go. And there's was the Skokie tour. We did see some cornice failure, which started some avalanches, which was kind of cool. The kids dug that, and it was a good learning experience for them, just to see those sort of events, because you can predict it all the time, but, you know, actually seeing what happened, and you can tell them what's going to happen. And, of course, like anything, nobody's going to believe you. But you can believe me now because you saw it. And look at that, eh? Lots of solar effect out there today, folks. And that solar is going to deteriorate things rapidly in the southern and southwest aspects, and possibly the southeast. And below, I would say 1,800 meters, we can start looking at things getting really moist rather quickly. What else do I have with Avalanche Canada? We were looking at some of this precip that was coming through here over the next week. So let's imagine you are right. There's Vancouver Island. So you're here, you are right here. This is Banff right here. And you can see later Sunday, Monday, 11th. So that was yesterday, 5th. Today, nothing, nothing, nothing. Tuesday, we're going to see some precip coming in through. And by Wednesday, we are going to get it full on. What do we get Friday? So by Wednesday, probably be the biggest precip day. And then Friday, it's going to settle out and probably be clear enough to ski up at higher elevations, and then give it up, baby. As far as ice climbers go, fuck you guys, you're done. Call it. Anything with an overhead hazard to it is going to probably not be a place that you want to go. I can't think of too many places that, unless, you know, there's some good teaching venues. God, what's the name of that Via Ferrata area there, that creek? Drains into Abram Lake. Down in there, it's all north, shadowed, probably got some good ice climbing left. 2 o'clock Falls, even though you got to cut across the res, I don't know how they feel about that, but that's one of those things that probably good for another month, and you don't have to worry about overhead hazard on that one. So it's kind of fun when it's, you know, when it's nice and warm because the climbing is so easy. And so 2 o'clock Falls. See if we got a thing for that. Let's go for. Mountain Project. Oh, climb 2 o'clock Falls. There it is. So you can see it from the road. These Sundance lodges. And then it's kind of quite a really easy grade 3. So, this route, add list, nothing to change, 2.27.4 kilometers east of Saskatchewan crossings. God, the last guy I went there with, his client, what an asshole. I mean, oops, I didn't say that out loud, because a jerk. Showed up with his mistress, I guess is what you'd call it, however. And are there any? Oh, they put these things into the hikes now, eh? New site we built, you're blocking it. Get out of here, Alberta. Wow, who cares? Everybody wants money now, don't they? Really steep most of the way. First fall summit you get to. I don't give a shit about that stuff. Not much else to say. Conditions are generally good. Avalanche hazard's good. Things are good. Why don't I show you a little video of the trip to Skokie and see what you can see what I did last weekend. And I know you all want to see that for sure. And I know y'all want to see that, that's for sure. Hey, Chris. So to go to Skokie, you park at the Lake Louise ski hill, and then you can ski up the valley, or we did a little variation, got a few turns in. You cross 2 passes, Boulder Pass and then Deception Pass. After Deception Pass, it's a 3-kilometer glide right down to Skokie Valley. You can see some cabins over in the distance here where people are staying. There's some staff cabins back here. Mushrooms up in the corner, work shed. This offsuit is where all the kitchen stuff is. And then this is the side door into the hut. All right. It's morning now at the Riverside Cabin at Skokie, and we're going for breakfast. What is that, Kyle?
We got a sandwich. This must be our lunch.
This is our lunch for ski touring. We'll go ski touring today. Lunch of the night. Or else we get a cookie or something.
Yeah, definitely. They were
All-terrain touring gear, man. Like, what is this stuff? Steel-edged. No, 3-pin bindings. Alpine touring. Cross-country. Advanced cross-country. Touring bindings. Snowshoes. That would be rough. Can you imagine snowshoeing into this place? And then having the snowshoe out? It ain't easy. So, here's a little something for you royal followers and nifty things. Right over here, this cabin that I'm staying in, is where Kate Middleton and Prince stayed, and where little baby Charles was conceived. And this is where it all happened, right over there. Good, eh?
Dad,
Uh-huh.
I think I'm getting a really bad blister.
Alrighty, you got to see the Joe show. That was me, the Joe. Yeah, Chris, I'm gonna butcher your last name. Shilub? Chris Shilub? You're asking about where to take kids. If they're under 10 years old, you're kind of limited, I think. I have one who is 11, and he is just getting in. He's mountain born and raised, right? So he's a little bit different than your typical kid. Shelby. Shelby. Oh, okay, I get it. They just want to make that hard on people. Maybe 2 nights. I don't know, man. Where are you going to go with kids? Like, backpacking. You know where I was? Where it's Skokie area. I did see that there was 2 campsites. There's one just in the valley before Boulder Pass, I believe. And then there's another one at Skokie. What would you want to go to either one, though? You know, there's lots of good day hikes at the Columbia Icefields area. If you want to go to the campsite, I would stay away from the RV site. Well, neither one of them are great. And doing some day hikes. You can go out once out towards the glacier, and then another one up Wilcox and Wilcox Pass from the back of the campsite. Don't take the trail. Go to the campsite, see where at the very back corner, at the northwest corner of the campsite, there's a drainage. Back behind the last campground, you'll find a trail that'll take you up, and those are definitely the best views in the entire Columbia Icefields. You know what? If the Clone River, Klein River, yeah. That's pretty good country, actually, isn't it? And there's quite a few established trails in there, and you don't have to deal with the park either, right? The national park, any of their rules. And I think camping and stuff is a little more cheaper out there, like established campgrounds, but I think you can just about camp anywhere wildernessly. I know there's a few places where people just park down by the river. So, yeah, you know, I don't know that area super well other than going ice climbing there and then doing the Via Ferrata, which 10 years old sounds like a little young. Yeah, Wilcox is good. You could actually take the kids up Wilcox. The scrambling there is not that bad. I mean, they have to be on a rope, of course, but you can walk pretty much right up to within 50 meters to 100 meters of the summit. And then kids would love the scrambling, and it's just easy, directing them, stay there, walk down to them. Okay, move, walk down, move, walk down. And I would think, for me, I would probably go into that, like for one day, for one trip, is camp someplace. And then with kids, I think just coming back so that they don't have to take large backpacks, which is key. You want to make this stuff enjoyable for them. If it's not, they're not going to want to do it for very much longer, right? So with us, we kind of keep things within the range of, okay, it's a bit of work. If they have friends, that helps. I found that we have you know, a group of friends that we hang out with. So if the kids are with these guys, they kind of egg each other on, and it makes it more enjoyable. They have a group that they call Fire Clan. So there's like two other sets of parents. One has two kids, one has one kid, and then we have two kids, and they combine together. And if you can get that sort of thing going, it makes it easier for everybody, especially for trip planning. And then when you're actually on the trip itself, the kids just sort of entertain themselves, and then the adults can share the responsibility or the load for all of that. That's kind of my advice on with kids. I don't, you know, and don't push it. I mean, the problem I think I see a lot of people doing, my wife included, is that, and other parents that I've been around, is they get goal oriented. And so, yeah, they, you know, they set a destination or a thing that they have to do, and then suddenly it becomes trenched in stone. It's like the burning tablets that came down. Like the burning bush handed me a tablet. These are the rules. We got to make this rule. We got to make this happen. My bag one. Yeah, of course it is. It's a bit rough. It's a bit rough on everybody. The Lake Louise group too. You know, the problem with that place is just so busy, right? But if people can get their, it shouldn't matter to a guy like you, though, because you just get out of bed, you get the kids out of bed, and you know, yeah, and go early. Doesn't matter where you go, to Lake Louise or Moraine Lake. But you know, even Moraine Lake now, I hear, is filling up at like 5 a.m. in the morning, 4:30, 5 a.m., and cars are already packing in there. So that's the reality of today. I'm not sure how they're going to deal with it this year. I think they're going to force people into doing more bus traffic than they've been used to. So where was I on my ramble? Oh yeah, with kids. Damn kids. Can't live with them. Can't live without them. Yeah, just keep it simple. Make, you know, quite often you get a tolerance for stuff yourself. Like hey, I want to see what's over the next rise, or I want to take this adventurous trail, or I want to do this. For kids, they just want to be outside and hanging with their buddies and their friends. And pretty much the only time that we can get our kids away from their devices, which they can't live without, is when we do go on hikes or ski touring and stuff like that. So Tyler just recently started ski touring on that Skokie trip, and Avon's been into it for the winter, and she's gotten in about 20 days of ski touring, which is pretty good for a first year ski touring. And she's 13 and a half. And Tyler's 11, 12, 11, 11. So, yeah. I don't really have, unless somebody else has some questions for me, I don't really have much to add to that. Yeah, you know, Skokie isn't that bad. There's a good campsite down there. What do they call it? Something Meadows. Oh, whatever it is, you'll find it. It's just below the lodge. But it looks like quite a good area for hiking. And if you wanted to, you could actually do a 2-day trip in there. Stop at the campground just behind the Skokie. Here we go. Let's why don't we flip over to that? I'll show you what I'm talking about. Do 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 do. So the ski hill. Okay, here's where there's Whitehorn. Readout. Okay, this is the ski hill area right here. If you look into it, you'll see the ski hill, Whitehorn Lodge, blah, blah, blah. And there's a campground down here, what they call a halfway hut. Yeah, Hidden Lake Campground right there. You can take the kids there for one day. You could even stash some food if you wanted to do a 2-day trip or 3-4-day trip. Like you had a week off for the summer, and then go over Packers Pass Trail down to Skokie Lodge area, which is right down here, right? There's Skokie Lodge right there. And there's a campground down here. There it is, Merlin Meadows. That's right. There's Merlin Lake, Merlin Meadows, and there's some pretty cool hiking in this area. And this, as the trail is as easy as it looks. It's just like fairly flat. You could walk this with the kids at that age. If you carried most of the gear and they just carried their day gear, their day packs and stuff, this area would probably make a nice, like a 4 or 5 day trip, and you could actually stash some stuff for on the way out, like cold beer and things like that, because you're gonna freaking need it going with kids. Yeah, I'd go in. That's just one trip. If I had kids that age and I knew about this, I'd go in here to Hidden Lake and then decide maybe I want to go up to the lake itself. Maybe I want to go up to the top of this pass or go over to the lake. Or do I want to do a multi-day trip and then go in as one full long day if you get them up early and go into Merlin Meadows area in this campground? You could walk that with the kids that age probably in about 3 or 4 hours. And that's really casual. From there, leave your extra food and then stay overnight or 2 nights there, come back, and then pick up your stuff at Hidden Lake Campground and then walk out from there. That would be a killer trip. Getting to Hidden Lake, though, how do you do that? Guess you got to walk up the road here. And there is a road right here, the Skokie Loop. This road, you can go into this road here, and then you go up the valley. So you go follow the road. There's a service road for the ski hill. Go right past Temple Lodge and up the valley, and that'll get you in. And you should be able to get there. What's the elevation? Buddha, 2,200 meters. And you are, top of your road is 1,700 meters, 1,500 foot elevation gain. So you got a pretty good climb. So keep the kids light, keep stuff going. Start early that's the thing about kids. Start really, really early. And go really, really slow, I find, and they can pretty much go anywhere. Anyhow, that's enough for today. I'll see you guys Wednesday when conditions change. Ice climbers, you out of your mind. Don't go anything with an overhead hazard. Skiers, polar aspects. I like that. I saw that the other day. Wind-loaded slabs are a concern. Snow's going to deteriorate rapidly as you decrease in elevation and you get into any solar aspects whatsoever. Expecting snow midweek, so I think Friday is going to be your big ski day. Get planning on going high and staying high. Speaking of going high and staying high, I'm going to do that right now as I transition out of here. All right, guys, thanks. Hey, Chris, hope you helps. I really don't have a list of like stuff that I freaking just like point you to. I've been there. I like Klein area because there's a bunch of random sites with fire pits. Super quiet. That's the thing about it too, eh? Is you can just camp out at the Klein River area because it's in the province. The freaking national park is a nightmare. Hey, Chris, take it easy, buddy. I hope you good luck with the kids. I'm past that stage. That's right, man. I'm 11 and looking backwards. Of course, I have I had a practice marriage, so I also got a 25 and a 26-year-old. Funny thing too, is like my daughter, it's like, hey, Dad, when she was like 20, you're the stupidest son of a bitch I ever met. You son of a bang, slammed the door, walked out. She became rich and famous, went off and working as a CBC reporter in Iqaluit. Comes back 4 years later and she's like surprised at how much I had learned in 4 years. Okay, let's sign out of here, and then we can start our day. And